This is disturbing. Something dark is happening in Hollywood, and Terry Crews just exposed it.
The CFO of William Morris Endeavor, a man died in his home dungeon. In his home dungeon. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm not saying this to just. It's not a fake. It's not nothing. You can look it up right now.
They might have swept it off the internet.
Yeah, but no, it's true. And wait, the police didn't even. The police, man, dead. But the police didn't do nothing. What is that? This is Hollywood. All this stuff is going. It's people got a whole bunch of stuff going on, right? And we walked in on it. We literally at this party, this guy comes and he's grabbing me, man, and I'm going, get off me, man. What are you doing? And he looked me in my eyes, and he was sticking his tongue out overtly sexually to me. I mean, it was no mistake that this was a sexual type tongue.
Guys, really quickly, the story that he just told absolutely, in fact, is true. I had to quickly Google this up here. William Morris, dungeon in his home. Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, guys, Hollywood is weird.
I reached my hand out, and he takes his right hand and under mine and immediately squeezes, grabs my genitals, and I'm jumping back like, hey, whoa. And he jumps back and he still does this tongue stuff. And he's making weird noises, and then he comes back again and grabs me again. And I slap his hand away, push him back more forcefully, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Right. The man was...
He's on something. I'm like, yo, I'm not that. I am not part of that party.
Fan club.
Yeah. Right. Bruh. And so when he literally was like, well, I was about to kill him. But this is what happened. And this is where we talk about Hollywood and the next thing. When this happens, I'll never forget, I just felt so emasculated. When he called me the next day, the agent called me up, my bad. Huh? Bruh.
What?
Remember I told you? Hey, wait, if somebody tries to get your trust unconditionally, hey, man.
Oh, no.
Bro, that does not work.
Yeah.
I said, that doesn't work. I said, I have given y'all millions of dollars, and you embarrass me in that way in front of my wife, in front of this whole thing, and you won't say my bad? You slipped up, and that's it?
How does that even happen?
And I went to the heads, I went to everybody, and they told me like,
normal?
And the head of William Morris Endeavor looked at me and said, I said, bro, I can't let this happen. He said, give it your best shot.
Yeah,
what happened?
Do what you gotta do.
Give it.
You understand how evil that is?
Best shot.
If you tell me I work for you. That is the thing. You telling me I'm paying you, but yet you still my slave. You're the goyim. You know what I mean? And I'm like, hey man. So I already went public before. I said, okay. So we went public together. We went on a whole thing. You can't do this. You can't do it. Assault is real. This and that. We was on Dr. Phil. We was on Today Show. We was on this. I said, and I told her, I said, you cannot. I said, hey man, this dude. And then when I went and I did those tweets, because what happened is the Me Too movement happened. I said, this happened to me. And everybody went, what? And you understand, had I not been through what we have been through, I would have never, because that's the thing. Everybody wants to keep the secrets. If I had secrets, you can't talk freely. Yeah. But I was a whole person. And I said, no one can go. You got to understand how many people got off the plane, the truck, or the bus in Hollywood and got molested and sent away. Right. And nobody believed what they were saying.
A lot of people.
We went, and it was crazy. Everybody was like, how can Terry Crews get molested? He's giant. He's big. I was just saying, he's a big black man. I said, hey,
because you chose to not crush his head.
Hey, well, and the thing is that even if I did, does that mean I didn't?
That's true.
This is right.
See,
that's true.
You want to say this, man. I started to examine it, and you have to examine it too, because I saw him and I saw this agent as another person caught in an addiction.
An addiction? Yeah, I can see this here. Again, you walk around with all of this money, okay? You walk around with all the power, basically the power to basically crush some young, I don't know, college student's dream when they came out to California. And that power dynamic, right, creates a lot of weird scenarios here, guys. And it's not something new. Like, listen, the idea of the casting couch is probably old as Hollywood. I have the power. You're young and pretty, let's say this year, right? And I will give you this potential position if you get into position.
You see, I saw it for what it was. Here's a man who had secrets he couldn't get out of. And he got all these clients and he risked it all. You understand what I mean? That's what the addiction does. You go, why would I risk this? And that's what people don't understand. The Epstein stuff, because what happens, it grows and grows. And you see the secrecy? Mm-hmm. And it grew. And it was under the carpet until the files got open and it stank. And it's nasty. And you see how rank and foul it gets because they all waited and were hoping one day, like I used to. Like literally the world was like, what is it we don't know about y'all? Just like she asked me. And all of a sudden, remember, it will be revealed.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, it will. And I sued them. Bro, I spent $500,000. We spent $500,000 of our own money. And let me tell you, I would go to home and I said, babe, we can't do this. And wait, and when I did the tweets, I knew Hollywood was over again. Because everybody was like, Terry, you went up against William Morris Endeavor, the biggest agency in Hollywood. I said,
and
I don't care.
And you wouldn't believe the big names that emailed and texted and called us asking him to drop it.
Yep. Big.
Yeah.
Big.
There was a gigantically famous person who has been engaging in these type of activities. They've been having all this fun, specifically at these parties here. Why not name the names here? All right. I mean, like, listen, if it has happened, then it has happened. Okay, I would not say that he was also someone who got blacklisted here because he's now all over the place, guys, right? So I never knew the actual details of what had happened to him, but obviously it was gigantically huge because, again, this big, gigantic man is saying that he is engaging in the Me Too movement for something. No one really truthfully expected that. So, guys, I'm glad you said something. I don't think that anyone, under any circumstance, should have to deal with some other person basically putting their hands on them in some crazy, crazy manner. And I'm definitely glad that he's also attributing this specifically to the Epstein chronicles here. These are the same type of people.
And I was like, nope. We out.
And we were tapped and we were harassed and we were gang stalked. And
how long this process take?
Oh, it was a 2-year process. Wait, man, I got calls from the heads of the people. They're like, look, Terry, you don't want to do this. I was like, man, yes, I do. And don't call me again. Lose my number, bro.
Name names, bro.
Now that's come to.
But that's
why I said
God is on your side.
But remember, now you got to understand. I was already saying it's over. I came home to her and I said Hollywood's done. Remember that?
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what happened? I got more.
You got more work.
You got bigger.
I got more. God gave me more. It went bigger. People were like, this is what we're talking. He's saying it. He's been saying it. And wait, we suspected it. And wait, and let me tell you, this is what happened. And even when they tried to deny it, I was $500,000 there. I said, I'll spend $1 million to win $1. And that's what I would constantly say that I will spend $1 million just to win that $1.
I get it, bro. You get to the point where you're just like, hey, listen, I need to feel like I'm being heard for the first time. So if I have the resource known as the US dollar, right, then I'm gonna go ahead and drop that, right? Because this here is worth more than me than the money sitting in the bank account currently, right? If that makes any sense here. I mean, I get it. I definitely hope that it worked out. Again, I do not know the full story about what actually fully happened with him other than what he just stated here, right? But just understand here. I feel you 100% on this here, bro. I do definitely wish that a lot of celebrities would also come out more so and say more things here based off of the, let's call this a Terry Crews effect here, where you say something that is absolutely, let's say, troubling for the higher ups, right? To the point where people are now backing you. large scale. I mean, listen, bro, if you've gone through something, do not keep that to yourself, because again, that person had no right to literally do these things to you. And the Epstein files being brought up in this here is absolutely on track here, guys, because this is the same thing. All right. The only difference here would probably be, less celebrities and more so heads of state. But it's the same overall, like, weird, group of people in power and super wealthy that are doing absolutely reprehensible things to people who are struggling and or need some type of leg up. So they're doing whatever needs to get done for that moment. That's what it seems like has been happening. And it generally follows power. It follows influence. It follows copious amounts of money.